Hello, everyone, and welcome to Meticulous Talks on September 17th. I am, as always, Chris of Chords.
And I'm Hifrock.
How are you doing, Ithrock?
All right.
Well,
Not much is happening, I suppose, for me now,
okay, fair enough.
which is good.
Yeah, that's obviously a good thing to hear. Um, my life has been very busy because we have a tournament
Oh,
starting up,
yeah, that's fair.
and I am super excited. Uh, we just closed the deck submissions yesterday, and I gotta say, this is probably one of the most varied fields we've had in a long time.
Cool.
There's some really cool decks that have been submitted this year, and so
Can't wait to see them.
yeah, I think we shouldn't waste any time. So yeah, 4 decks for everybody, 32 decks in all. That's far too many for us to actually go through in one stream. So I picked one standout from each participant, and we're actually going to start with. Oh, I suppose I actually didn't send you the deck list, did I?
Nope.
Let me do that here quickly. So it's pardon us stream.
I mean, you can show it on stream, and I can see it there too.
I suppose that works, yeah. So okay. So yeah, we're actually going to start with Instagram, who brought a lot of weird decks. It's worth saying. So he's got the deck that got him to second place in Continentals, obviously, Stunning Wonder Blue. But other than that, I think it says a lot that the Poppy deck isn't his highlight for me. I think this deck that I'm about to show is actually more exciting.
More exciting than the Poppy deck.
Yeah. Yeah, this is Ambassador Rarity. Could this is weird. Ponyhead's not loading for me.
Not loading where I can see the deck on stream.
Well, I'm trying to just load it up to look at closely for myself. There we go.
No.
Oh, wait a second. It looks like our bitrate is very variable. I think the stream might actually not be appreciating this very much.
I mean, not much is happening on screen, so bitrate shouldn't really matter.
Well, I mean, we're dropping like a quarter of our frames right now.
Yeah, but like frames are static, so
I guess.
like sure, we're dropping them. Nothing is changing on the screen.
I guess I'm a little like usually we're very consistent, but we are very spiky today.
Are you on your usual setup?
Yeah. Well, I mean the headset's
Hmm.
different, but other than that,
Okay.
nothing's changed. And my quality with you on Discord's fine.
Yeah.
Um, is okay. I guess we're just gonna keep on. If the quality isn't great, then chat let us know. But yeah. So far as I can
Quality is
tell,
good.
sorry.
The quality is good, and
Okay, sure. So yeah, so far as I can tell, this is a deck that's got one specific aim, and that is to be good against Bluna. We've got the super rare Capper. Opponents can't move characters during the score phase, which is obviously it's the anti-Bluna card. I think you could classify Pinkie Pie and Rarity Deep Currents that way too. It's also anti-movement. There's a lot of eccentric. There's a lot of, well, there isn't that much showy, but it's just Yona and Sandbar and the main, which is like not.
Showy isn't that good against Bluna.
It's like, well, if you have Yona and Sandbar in play, then it's not bad because it
Okay, sure.
counts plays as well. Admittedly, not a major focus. But yeah, I think this is a pretty serious call to have one deck that is just built against Bluna.
If it's built against Bluna, shouldn't it have reliving histories? I
That,
mean, this deck has plenty of unicorns too.
that would make a lot of sense, I guess. Well, plenty of unicorns? Good.
There's bodyguards, there's your main,
And there's
there's...
Mr. and Mrs. Huffington, and that's it.
Yeah, but that's enough.
Sorry, reliving is just if you have a unicorn, right?
It's free unicorns, but like you can move things back without any restrictions. The free unicorn requirement just denies all of the movement after you play the card.
Right.
So, I mean, you don't have to have free unicorns, but you can get that in this deck, and I don't think it's that hard. Like, you just bodyguards. Come on,
Yeah.
like look at bodyguards and all of the removal.
Right. 8. Actually, yeah, 8 pieces of removal. Actually, I didn't even notice that dip in the pool before. That is. I mean, there are many potential targets for that.
Yeah.
Actually, I think there are no unique friends in here. No,
Spoonie
Spoons
is
is
unique.
unique. Yeah. Other than that, that could go on anything.
If you have 2 Yona and Sunbars, they stack, right?
Yeah. It's +1, so they should.
That's fun. Maybe there's no space for reliving because it is kind of a specific card. Like it's not that useful against any other decks, right? It's just for, well, mostly just for Luna. Like you wouldn't use that card that often in other matchups, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Now, the good news for him is, can you guess how many of his opponents are running a Bluna deck?
No, but okay. So Smithers is definitely one, right? Like Smithers is running Luna. There's no way he's not running Luna. But I don't know about everyone else. Maybe 3 more people. I would just put my guess at 4.
6 people in the tournament are running
Okay.
Bluna decks.
Wow.
Now, the sad part is in the first round, Instagram is matched up against the only other person not running a Bluna deck.
But I mean, all of them have another deck, right? So they can just... So
Well,
it becomes kind of like a mind game. So
yeah.
are they going to pick a Balloon deck or not?
I think this is going to be a really cool mind game to have a deck that's so focused in one direction.
I think if you... So, okay. I think what you should do is always pick this deck and just hope they pick Balloona, right? Because if you don't pick this deck, like you would need to go to the round 3, and then you would need to like on the coin flip get an adventure. So that's like a lot of things need to happen for you to play this deck if you're not picking it first, right?
Yep. And yeah, I guess it is still gonna be useful regardless. Again, well, like
Yeah,
yeah, like this with the amount of removal and disruption in here, this should be effective against most forms of aggro.
I wonder if like was Patio 1 not worth it?
Interesting question. We are an adventure. It absolutely uh, available. I guess this deck does have a fair number of friends in it.
Yeah, but also has bodyguards.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Usually, if you've got a bodyguard as one of your things, then even put in a single copy of Party of One.
See, Beagle says Patio 1 is always worth it, and I kind of agree. Like I think you'd kind of want to find a space for at least one, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And like if you feel like you don't need it, you can just sideboard it. But it's gonna be useful in some matchups for sure. I think.
But anyway, yeah, this is also kind of interesting because, well, it's a adventure control deck without any troublemakers in it.
Yeah,
Um, it does have a very slow problem deck, as you expect in
yeah, of course.
adventure.
Good old blackmail. We should reprint it for core.
I would not be opposed to that.
I mean, core could use more control problems. Yeah, it's been a thing for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There are some good ones recently, but nothing like we had in EO. And I'm not talking just blackmail, like EO had.
Yeah. Well,
The standard problem deck for control.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It had lots of problems with confront requirements of 7+, basically.
yeah, there were a lot of tens, and there were a lot of like things like, oh, if they start a face off here, gain AT, or other thing. Like there were really good problems in EO. Like I would be okay with getting all of those like other problems in EO, but not blackmail. That will be fine by me because other problems are maybe not as good as blackmail, but they're still really good.
For sure. Yeah. Anyway, that's Instagram. That's our starting point.
All right.
Now, from here, the next one on that I'm going to go to is going to be Ivory, actually. And this is a bit more of an old school list. This is also adventure.
Okay.
Actually, I think this is well, yeah, this is Ambassador Dash Farm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, following the style that was popular, I think even before this set rotated, and this was still core legal.
Yeah.
There is wait,
There's a
well,
Trixie.
wait a second. Is there? Oh yeah,
Yeah, the
uh,
troublemaker.
villain, obviously. Yeah. Is it? Oh yeah. So the only additions for Fond Memories are Rainbow Laser and Night Vision.
This is very similar to the deck, like to the decks we had at 2019 Continentals, right?
I think
Which
so.
was which was the last core tournament before rotation. And
Yeah.
I think Ivory and I think someone else, Bugle maybe. I think it
Well,
was Bugle.
if Pancake was there, I think he was running something like this.
I think it was Bugle and Ivory who run this at 2019 Continentals.
Okay.
I don't remember if Pancake was there. I don't think so, but maybe I can't remember now. Although I don't remember if like the lists from back then had like Thunder Lanes, and obviously they didn't have all of the new cards we have now.
Right. So to point out to Bugle his point about the lack of plushie dash. Well, in the invitational rules, there's always one good reason for that, and that is the plushie dashes are in the other deck. As Ivory's other deck is Hot Wings. So, well, he could have had one in here, and admittedly, one is probably good.
Yeah.
I guess like given the lack of friends, I mean, yeah, you wouldn't get full value out of Dash and Mullet, but yeah, still a hasty 3-power body is probably going to drag something. Yeah, it's quite possibly worth it. But otherwise, well, yeah, I just kind of struck out to me as a fairly old school, blast from the past kind of idea.
Yeah. The only thing we now need is for next Invitational to have Harmony, and someone will run the Twilight farm. That'll be also old school.
Yeah, I think Harmony's not totally out of the question for future invitationals. We'll see. But yeah. Next up, right. Going to be Smithers. And I took this opportunity because, well, this isn't just going to be interesting decks, shall we say. I also want to highlight some of the themes that are going to be in the tournament. So Smithers is one of 6 players who brought a Stunning Wonder blue list.
Oh.
And this is just one of them. So expect to see a lot of this deck or variations thereof in the tournament.
I did not miss blue yellow. I'll be honest. We've seen so much of it before.
Mm-hmm. And this one's yellow blue, not blue yellow.
I mean, sure. Potato, tomato. You know what they say.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of the same thing.
Kind of, yeah. But well, it's hard to argue with results. This deck was extremely effective in Continentals.
Yeah.
There's, so far as I'm aware, there isn't a whole lot of variation among among the people who brought it either. A card or two here or there, but it's mostly pretty bang up on Instagram's list.
So, did anyone meta read this and build a counter deck?
Well, Bugle says he's fairly confident with his stuff. So, well, depends on your definition of counter, I guess. So,
Sure.
there are a couple of people who, with some tweaks, basically just brought the top 2 Continentals list.
Makes sense.
Smithers is one of them. Eminently is the other. Yeah, kind of depending on what you consider counter.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. There's, among the rest of core, there's some interesting stuff, and we'll get to Bugle's list and some of the other standouts later. Obviously, in Continentals, this deck kind of tore up everything that it faced, except for well, it had some tougher matches in the top 8 round. But yeah, the lesson that I learned watching the second Continentals was essentially that you never count it out. There can be lots of points and lots of efficiency lurking.
Yeah.
Which I think should make for some pretty interesting games. I guess another thing that's worth pointing out is that it is lacking in the interaction. Pretty much just
But
unsat, right?
yeah, but that's kind of has been like always a thing for yellow blue, I feel like.
Well, I mean, there are ways to build yellow blue with at least some frighten in the blue stuff.
Yeah, but I don't think we really see that often. Like usually people just bring in ansats.
Mhm, mhm.
That's my impression.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I guess what I was trying to get at is that like in what certainly seems like a reasonably likely case that we end up with a mirror, it's gonna be a mostly aggro math game. Like it is. There's not gonna be a whole lot of uh, play going on back and forth. It's just gonna be who can get the most efficiency out of their deck on each given turn. And yes, Bugle points out there is a singular singular Yona in here as well. Um, uh, advice against the Alicorns deck that was seeing the rounds of Continentals, which is present. Cheese brought it, but nobody else, I don't think. Somewhat unfortunately.
All right.
All right. Okay. Now we've covered some maybe less groundbreaking ideas. Let me show you my favorite of Grandpa's core decks. So this is purple. This is Royal Tutor, and it is purple white unicorns, which I'm also happy about. You know, I have a soft spot in my
Yeah,
heart
yeah.
for unicorn decks, especially anything that's going to make use of Magic Instructor. Granted, only one card in there, but every friend in here is a unicorn except for the singular Flurry Heart.
Yeah, Flurry Howard is so good.
Yeah. And yeah, this is unicorn. I don't know if I call this aggro per se, maybe more mid-range, but definitely fast.
Yeah. It's not really like a control, right? Even though there are some like controlling cards, doesn't seem like it's the focus.
Yeah. There is there's a whole heck of a lot of AT efficiency between the tranquilities, the same days, the
I think that
saddle rows.
I think that's kind of the idea, right? You can copy tranquilities with your unicorns.
Mm-hmm.
They're cheap and you get a lot of AT.
Yep. Copying tranquility is real good, especially the later forms of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have.
Celeste Main.
Mhm.
I missed that part.
Yeah, yeah. See, even better.
Is this secretly your deck?
No, no, it's
Are you
not.
sure?
If it was mine, it would have been heavier on the memes and lighter on the ability to actually win stuff.
That's fair.
Although, well, yeah. the singular Twilight and Twilight is well, a bit of a standout. The only way to play it is with a rushed makeover. Yeah, that's the only way to get pink requirement. But of course, you are going to just be able to search for it whenever you're going to be doing a lot of searching because this is Royal Tutor. So
Yeah.
yeah, you can find it whenever. Oh yeah, that's right, Fluent Flam. Thank you, Bugle. Forgot. They are generic color entry. That's a good point.
But there's also a singular copy of them.
Yeah. Which,
So there's what, like 4 entry here in this deck? Oh no, I guess there's also what's her name?
Citrine Spark. Yeah.
Citrine Spark, yeah.
Yeah. Although, 3 Rush Makeover, 2 Citrine Sparks, 1 Flim and Flam. It's very judicious with the colors other than purple, which,
I
there are,
mean, most of this deck is
yeah,
purple
this deck
though.
is a lot of purple. Right, and yeah, Bugle points out, since Fluid and Flame are zero power, they can be searched up from any event, which is pretty nice.
Yeah.
The problem deck is, I mean, yeah, this is pretty much the essential purple aggro problem deck.
What do you copy with Stygian? Do you copy your own resources? Or is it like a sideboard card?
Well,
Saddle Row? Do you copy Saddle Row?
both Saddle Row and Snack Stand are fine copies. But yeah, there's also opposing stuff.
Hmm. Cool. I mean, I love to see purple.
Mm-hmm. Yep. How much purple is there, actually, now that I'm looking at the event? So there's this one. We'll get to Bugle's deck in a second. That's effectively it, actually, on the core side.
What about Adventure?
The Chaos Control decks have a little bit of purple in them, I guess.
Nah, that doesn't count.
On the Adventure side, it's a little bit better. There's some instances of, there's a fair amount more control going on the Adventure side, and Bugle is actually running it in his Luna list, Luna Purple.
Oh. Prism Lights asks for non-reanimator orange.
Oh
I
yeah.
would guess Pancake has something like that.
Oh yeah.
If
There's
there's like...
there are a number of orange farms. Eminently brought his Lyra Orange, if you remember from a long time ago.
Ooh, yeah, I love that deck.
And then there's some, yeah, Grand Paws is playing a Grogar mid-range. Yeah, it's actually just orange-blue fun, basically. All the good orange-blue cards. And all the good
Damn,
orange cards.
Orange blue sounds interesting. I would love to see matches with that. Is it orange blue in core or adventure?
Core.
Okay.
There
goes my hope of someone playing Muffin Mare.
Yeah. Sorry, no Muffin Mares. So next up, we'll go to Pancake. No surprise.
Is it a farm deck?
Yes. Pancake.
Yes.
Yeah, not particularly, I guess, difficult to guess what his 4 decks are, frankly.
But I
We've
mean,
got.
it's great that Pancake found something that he loves. Like I also play the same decks.
Mhm.
Like I love my blue, purple, white. And that's what I usually play.
Yep, absolutely. So yeah, there's this farm and the Stunning Wonder deck in 4, and then it's Ambassador, Rainbow Dash, and Hot Wings in Adventure. But this is kind of the flagship farm deck, as it were. He's gone back to a pink style, which I think was what he was experimenting with before he went on the white style that he used for Continentals. Pink, well, is only there for Wrath of Gilda, basically.
Also big bets.
Oh yeah, big bats. Right. Very true. And pretty good. End of each player's turn, and yeah, this deck doesn't care about its friends at the end of its turn, so pretty fine. In the case of a Spitfire, you get to draw a card off of it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as we know, yeah, not exactly a big surprise. We knew this was going to be some kind of Seleno farm. I do like personally really admire Pancake for his willingness and ability to be flexible. Like he's run farm with so many different other colors, uh, and he just is constantly searching for the best way to do it.
Yeah.
So this time we're doing it with pink, and uh, I guess given all the aggro that's out there, the inclusion of the 3 Wrath of Gildas is probably a pretty good call.
What's his second adventure core deck?
It's Stunning Wonder Blue.
Oh, okay. So he's one of the 6 players, right?
Yeah, yeah. It
That
is
makes
a. Let me see if I can go have a quick look at it. It is admittedly a. He's made some tweaks to the standard Stunning Wonder Blue. I guess probably because some of the blue cards are in his farm deck. uh, so he has a couple of the New Dawn Daring Do ultra rare in here. Actually,
Oh,
you remember what that card does?
nope.
When a player confronts a problem, if this card isn't at that problem, you remove this card at immediate speed. Pay 1 to give this card competitive 2 until the end of the turn.
Oh, yeah. I think I rated that at 1. Or maybe 2.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't remember it having seen any play up to this point, so we'll see. Well, yeah,
Or we will not, because I fully expect Pancake to just,
yeah,
always pick farm and like
that's the thing.
and the second deck is just there, so he has a second deck.
That is the truth. Yep, that is how it works.
Unless it's mind games, because, everyone thinks he's gonna pick farm.
it's tough. As I said up at the start, we know this aggro list is really strong. Um, there's some argument to be made for picking it every so often.
Yeah.
Okay. So next up, I know he's been waiting for us to get to it. It's Bugle. Bugle's got a lot of interesting decks. I think all 4 of them are kind of interesting in their own right. Even the Bluna list, as I said, it's Bluna purple, which nobody else is doing. Um, But this one is, I think, the most fun. There's some cards in here
Does it have the most pinkies in it?
that are going to jump out. I don't think it has any pinkies in it, actually.
No, I mean, fun and jump out sounds like pinkies.
Sorry.
Also, bugle sounds like pinkies.
It's true.
Ooh, I love this. I love this.
I thought you might, yeah.
It's Zipper Whale.
It's Zipper Will. It's not that Zipper Will. This is core.
Oh, it's not that. Yeah, sure.
But this Zipper Will is pretty awesome, too. Because you shuffle it into your deck with Amusement Factory at immediate speed at the start of your opponent's turn after they gain their AT. And having been on the receiving end of that a few times, I can tell you, it's pretty annoying. Especially in the early
I can
game.
imagine. Oh, I love this.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's why we need more purple. I also really like purple-yellow. We should just remove blue and everyone will play yellow-purple, right?
Oh, okay. Okay, Bugle attributing this to eminently. Fair enough. I wasn't aware of that. Good attribution there. But yeah, this is, I mean, you could almost, there actually are a number of effects in here designed to take away the opponent's action tokens. Admittedly, Sunburst triggers very infrequently, but is there. Incriminating evidence.
Depends on who you're playing against.
And yeah, depends a lot. I think it struck me during my game with Bugle last night that when your opponent's got incriminating evidence, it is all the fun of playing with Magic Overload without all the fun of playing with Magic Overload. Because you just got to spend all your AT, but you don't get any benefit out of it. But yeah, and I guess like aside from that, we've got a there are a number of different things present here, a number of different colors. Purple, yellow, pink, some white.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's all those. Oh, that's right. There are actually 51 cards in this. I hadn't even noticed that up till now.
It should have been 53 though.
For the ultimate meme victory?
Yes.
Oh, there is orange in here. That's right. The mirror pools, which are pretty awesome. It's worth pointing out. Like mirror pool is best with Zipperwell, but there are other things you can do with it. In fact, there are lots of other things you can do with it.
I mean, even Sunburst triggers like a little mini Zipperwell. Although you're spending AT to get rid of them of the AT, which is maybe not that great, but still. Can duplicate Mistmane, I think, right?
I mean, that's a trigger, yeah. Enters play abilities are triggers. So you can duplicate Tempest Shadow and Grover. You can duplicate Lyra and Bonbon. You can duplicate Minuet.
Are as the card enters play triggers? I don't think they are. They aren't.
As's are not triggers, that's right.
Yeah. Well, that's sad. Would be fun to have full Rainbow Sclerite, for 280. Well, not full for Rainbow, but like 4 colors. It's pretty rainbowy.
For sure. And yeah, I guess, well, yeah, this is the other source of purple in core. Yeah, this and Grandpa's is it. But they're both super cool decks.
Yeah. I have my favorites now.
Well, I mean, there's some more fun to come. Let me tell you.
Sure.
I've only got 2 decks left. I guess next up, I already mentioned this was going to be coming, but here is Eminently's old. Well, I don't want to say old. It's been updated. This is the Lyra Orange from Adventure.
Oh yeah,
Um, let's see. Yeah, we have Daisy Lily and Roseluck from Fond Memories added, which
and Discord.
uh
I think those are like the only
oh
two additions.
oh
Huh?
right. Sorry. Yeah. I forgot that New Dawn hadn't wasn't a thing when this deck was first run either. Uh, Discord. I
None
guess
of the print and play stuff was a thing when this deck was run.
right. Princess Combo Meal's new as well then.
Yes,
When
yes.
well, yeah. If none of the print and plays, then Golden Parachute's new as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I need to get a better memory to remember what year this was debuted. But it was
Well, I
a
mean, it won the Continentals, right?
right,
2019, and this was before
right.
Leader's Legend. Like Leader's Legends was released like a month after that.
Yeah. It has still got all the old favorites. Uh, Follow My Lead and Remarkable still works.
Yep. Good
Um,
old Heaven Base, Berry Punches,
hmm
Bailouts. Remember that card?
Yeah,
Food Fight.
yeah. This is frankly
This
this
is
is
pretty much the same deck except a couple of additions.
and good additions for what they are too. Yes.
Yes. Yeah, of
Uh,
course.
even even Family Feud up there, and then the problem deck is nostalgia. I would dare say.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, that problem was so good. Or rather, is good.
Yeah, this is kind of a greatest hits of Orange. Uh, well, there are some others that could call Orange highlights, but yeah, this is a great reminder of the things Orange can do.
Hmm.
Now, got one deck left. Uh, Grandpa's is running it too, but I left it aside so I could talk about Grandpa's other deck
Okay,
because Cheese is running it
that's
too.
kind of cheating.
Well, Cheese is running it too, so I can talk about it for Cheese's list.
Sure.
And I will direct your attention to the Follow My Leads in this deck because it's also playing a starring role in the next one down.
Okay.
So this is officially Cheese's list that we're showing, but Grandpa's is running it too. This is a deck. Grandpa's told me about it early in the deck building, and I am super hyped to see how this does. This has the potential to be real good. This is our other Zippo, the one that you remember.
There we go. This is the Zipper wheel I was remembering.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, trick is find the control. I guess I already told you Follow My Leads involved.
Yeah, okay. You use Fluttershy, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's funny how nobody uses Follow My Lead for its, intended purpose.
No, just the fact that you can get out of your discard pile is pretty great. So yeah, you have Zipperwill and Fluttershy and 2 Follow My Leads, and you just have immediate speed, move an opposing character
Yeah.
forever at no cost.
And yeah, and you get Follow My Leads back immediately. Yeah.
Yep,
Pretty good.
yeah. Now the trick is the real fancy trick is that Queen Novo up there and her Unity 10 ability.
Oh, I see. So the idea is that you zeroed out their
Yep.
board before anything. Yeah.
Start of the
At any
opponent's
time.
turn, you just give all their characters 0 power. Opponent ever plays an entry friend. Oh, it has 0 power. Keep
Yeah.
going. Yeah.
Cool.
It's fun stuff. The opponent had better have so they are going to have a few priority windows where they still have requirement. So better have a hasty or immediate speed something that can do some disruption.
Yeah.
Preferably a frighten because there's going to be golden parachutes involved. Which is okay because Luna often has that. I don't know how many of the decks are how many Luna decks are actually running Rutherford. Now that I think about it, he's definitely the card that comes to mind in this situation.
I mean, people are running Spitfires in
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Hot Wings decks, right? Those also frighten.
Oh yeah, yeah, and are also hasty. They will work. Yeah.
Yeah. They do require you like to have to think, but
Yeah. Well, on your turn, you have the first priority window. So if you know this is coming,
yeah.
which you will, because all the stuff's in play, ready to go. So yeah, yeah. Now, it's worth pointing out that yes, if you know this is coming and your deck's got the right tools for it, that's fine. If you don't, then you might be in some real trouble.
Wow, this is even like the follow my lead thing is a trigger speed, right? So you don't even get
Yeah,
like
you
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 can't banish them from the discard pile. Just
you don't get a
you
chance to
have no
misfire. Yes.
yeah. Unless you do we have anything in adventure that's like Portal to Tartarus?
How does Mind Palace work?
Let me see.
That might not do it actually. I think it's when something enters play.
As an opponent plays a card, so no. It's when they play a card, which they don't, right?
Yeah,
This combo
there is
doesn't
no
play any card. Yeah.
yeah, there's no playing of cards involved in this.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah, and this admittedly, Grandpa's had told me, there are ways to make this more unfun. If you include even more removal and
Yeah.
some board wipes. Uh, I am to some extent thankful that he decided to keep it a little bit more fun for the stream. But we'll see. I frankly, we'll see. But I wouldn't be surprised to see some part of this get banned because this is pretty serious.
This feels kind of tent abusing, you know?
A little bit, yeah.
That's my impression of it.
Even leaving off the Novo stuff, just the Zippo loop is pretty significant.
I think the Zippo loop is like okay, I guess, although it is no cost immediate speed. Yeah. Hmm. F.
Yeah. But yeah, well, that is I think that's maybe part of the reason why both Cheese and Grandpa's are running it. They can get some data, and that's a decision to be made after the tournament, I assume.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be okay. Who knows? So, well, yeah, that does bring us. That's all 8 of the decks I had picked out. There are still, I mean, as I said, there are a number of others in here that are pretty cool. There are also a number of just Stunning Wonder decks and Bluna decks. Um, but there are other ones in here that I wish I could have put up. And it's going to be a pretty interesting tournament, I think.
Yeah, certainly does seem so.
So, just going to throw the tournament bracket up. And let's have a look at what the first round is looking like. So, everyone knows somehow it is not Bugle and Pancake in the first round, which I apologize, Bugle, but I swear it's not a typo.
Does seem like a typo, though.
It is Bugle and Smithers in the first round, actually. And well, I don't know. Do you think it is worth offering any predictions or comments?
I mean, I have my favorites. I mean, all I can do is to root for them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to like predict like, oh, that person's gonna win or anything. But anyone who runs purple, you have my support.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. I am. I guess I am. I am interested to see if Smithers and Eminently ever meet, which is unfortunate. They're on the on the opposite sides of the
Yeah.
bracket because their core lists are basically the same. Like they're both running Stunning Wonder and Chaos Control in core. So that'd be a real interesting matchup. We'll see if it happens.
They can meet if Pancake, not Pancake, eminently loses to Pancake and then wins versus in the loser bracket.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And Smithers loses in semifinals. Like that can happen.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there are definitely ways that it can happen. It just, yeah, isn't going to happen for a few weeks, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you mentioned, I'm Bugle and Grandpa's both kind of brought out the creativity, and so and in that sense, it's great that they're on opposite sides of the bracket because I get two people to root for throughout much of the tournament, probably. Although Instagram also has some super creative decks, so it's a little unfortunate that him and Grandpa's are playing against each other at the start.
Yeah, but I mean, that's why it's double elimination.
That's why it's double elimination. Absolutely. So the first match is gonna be next Saturday. We haven't figured out who is gonna play yet. That is something that's gonna be worked out in the days ahead, as well as who is going to be doing the commentary and all that stuff. You may notice this is a somewhat nicer looking bracket than we've been doing before. That is definitely one of my big goals this year, is just to kind of pretty up the streams a little bit. I've got a bunch of other ideas for new sort of presentational overhauls along these lines. So, well, frankly, that's going to be a lot of work for me still to do this week, but look forward to that.
Yep.
As far as this stream goes, well, we're going to be back in 2 weeks' time. Is the start of October. Guess, well, we'll think of something to talk about by then.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, thank you everyone for coming out. The full list of invitational decks is going to be posted shortly after this stream's finished. So pay attention to the subreddit and the Discord server for that. And to all of the participants, best of luck. And well, yeah, best of luck.
It's
Is there
gonna be
anything?
great.
Sorry.
It's gonna be great.
Sure looks like it. Yeah. Is there anything else you wanted to say before we sign off, Ithrock?
Not really. I don't think so.
Okay. Then yeah, as I said, thanks everybody for coming out. Next, well, yeah, there will obviously be an announcement sometime this week as to who's going to be playing in the first quarterfinal match, and later for what the next regular stream is going to be. Until then, I've been Cursicords.
I've been Hifrock.
See you then.
Bye.